trying to add millions of years into the Bible destroys the concept of biblical authority. Now, let me put it this way. Here's a question I like to ask Christians that believe in millions of years and the whole secular geologic timescale. Can you tell me your top 3 Bible verses that convinced you that God used millions of years to create? You know, there's usually a lot of crickets going on at that point because it's usually not the Bible at all that brought them to that conclusion. It's the influence of secular teaching that has brought them to try to fit these ideas into the Bible when they really aren't there at all. Now look, when scientists say that events and processes happen in a kind of a vastly different time scale than the Bible records, some people just deal with this by putting, well, that's scientific arguments over here and biblical information over here. You know, different categories. This is science and this is the Bible. But in the minds of many, especially our young people in school, science, because it's considered authoritative about the real world, is what is trusted about history and about nature. And because of this, science is usually treated as objectively true, while biblical concepts, well, they become kind of thought of as subjectively true. And when biblical concepts are treated as subjective, they can easily be dismissed as unimportant, but they're not. Now, we'll cover the difference between operation and historical, or what we call origin science, in another episode. But for now, let's just remember that origin science represent one-time, unrepeatable events, and here, the usual scientific methods from experimental science just don't apply. We need to understand that there's been a lot of unprovable assumptions made in developing theories about the age of the Earth and events of the past, and there's bias there based on people's worldview, and we'll get into that in other episodes. But basically, there's a big difference between someone using science to figure out what water boils at sea level on our planet, through a repeatable experiment, and trying to use historical science to figure out, if it was Mr. Green or Professor Plum who killed the victim in the conservatory with the candlestick, if you know where I'm coming from, when no one saw it happen and you can't repeat the experiment. Anyway, if the Bible isn't true to the facts about the real world, about the age of the Earth, and there's no reason for us then to really trust it to explain our everyday human experience, well, atheists and Bible skeptics realize this, and they say, well, many Christians are contradicting their own beliefs by questioning teachings in the Bible itself, especially Genesis, and this is often used to attack the entire Christian faith. Look, I've dialogued with a lot of believers over the years at conferences and different events, etc., and I've experienced something repeatedly. The conversation usually looks something like this. Well, look, I'm a Christian, but look, I'm a well-educated person, and I believe in science and millions of years and evolution, and I've got a couple of degrees, and I don't want my family and friends to think I'm some naive, unintelligent Christian, I mean, of course, Genesis is just mythological. Look, it's got a talking snake in it. Yeah, well, the problem with arguing this way is that if you look over here in the Bible, there's a talking donkey, and over here there's a floating axe head. I mean, how's that experiment going for you? Do axe heads float? And over here, there's a guy who walks on water and it's not even frozen, and Jesus is healing a crippled hand, and a dead person comes back to life. I mean, which part of the Bible am I supposed to be embarrassed about as a Christian? Non-Christians are often looking at believers like, well, why do you believe this part but not this part? Why do you hold to science that they think that's what it is here, but believe that dead people come back to life over here? Why so inconsistent in your thinking? Arguing that way signals to people that what scientists have determined about the past has more authority than what the words of Scripture do. And then why would we expect anyone to take it as authoritative? So, why should the age of the Earth even matter to Christians? Because trying to add millions of years into the Bible when it's clearly not there destroys the concept of biblical authority.